The headline at Davos this year has to be adaptation, and we're here gathering insights and ideas from CEOs from around the world. In a global economy almost falling over itself to accommodate technological change, transformation is the new survival skill. Transformation at speed and at scale. Today I'm joined by Niels Stenfeldt, CEO of 9altitudes, and Rick van Dorp, Strategy Director of Van Dorp, to explore what this shift means in practice. Niels and Rick, great to see you. Welcome to Davos.
Thank you very much.
Let's set the scene, first of all, before we start talking about specifics with your organizations. Niels, what do you see as the biggest priority for companies trying to modernize and transform today?
I think it's an interesting question, because when I speak with business leaders around the world as part of my job, I see them all being attacked on basically three levels. There is the challenge of sustainability that is fading a little bit behind. But what has come up significantly is the ability to be resilient. So understand what happens in your supply chain upstream and downstream. Having that level of observability is a key thing, because the world is less and less predictable. We see that being here in Davos with things happening. It's also an important measure to look at the level of productivity. When you take these three very large themes and put that into a business, it's really about making sure that you create not only a transformation, but with a transformation with a purpose to overlook and give you the tools so you can pre-react and not react slow.
And CEOs around the world are struggling to turn data and AI and the swiftness of all the transformations around them into tangible business outcomes. Where does 9altitudes come into that?
We come in because what we focus on is creating what we call the execution layer. Somebody would have called that ERP, PLM, CRM, and multiple things. In the past, we are working with some of the biggest vendors of the world and implementing their solutions for our customers and clients and partners like Van Dorp we have with us here today. And by having this execution layer, we can then begin building the agentic layer. But you can only build an agentic layer once the core backbone has been established. And that's what we do. And then we build the agentic layer, where you then get the benefits and can begin scaling. But what is absolutely important to make sure is that you, in that process, clean the data, that you have a transparent set of data models that you work on, because AI is as good as the data it works on. And it's unforgiven, meaning that if you have inconsistency, and you begin scaling with AI, you just scale inconsistency. What you do want is you want to scale consistency and observability, and then react on that as quickly as you can. That's what we do at 9altitudes.
So Rick, Van Dorp is a partnership with 9altitudes. We're talking here about that kind of disconnect that companies might face. How do you assess that disconnect between ambition and creating business realities?
Well, Van Dorp is a full-service technical provider. We design and maintain complex building climate systems, and we see a big disconnect in our current day and age, where customers are really struggling to deliver more sustainability, both driven by intrinsic values, also regulatory challenges, and we are trying to help them in the right direction, doing better climate systems that are more sustainable, and also being driven by data. And the data really helps us to focus on what is the actual impact that we are making, because it's very hard, and that's where the disconnect is, to measure the impact that you have been making in delivering technical assets.
So when you're looking for a digital partner, what are you looking for?
Well, we're mostly looking for, besides the deep expertise, we have found our shared DNA in our focus on sustainability, our intrinsic value on making the world a better place. And that's where we found 9altitudes, and have been working closely together. We are a company that is built on trust, transparency, and long-lasting relationships. Working together with the client, very intimate towards making a better future, and we found that with 9altitudes.
I guess you were talking before about keeping your eye focused in a period of transformation. So it's important we get the words right, I guess, Niels. I mean, fragmentation is a barrier, is a problem, and what you're looking for is resilience and, I guess, integration.
Absolutely. Fragmentation is probably one of the biggest hidden cost driver in many companies. That's where the wastes are. That's where the lost opportunity is in combining, let's say, an asset with a service with a cost. So having that integration across what we refer to as the execution layer, and then build that agentic layer in the middle, where you truly get the benefit of the integration. That's how you not only get rid of the fragmentation, but it's also how you build the observability so that, for instance, Van Dorp can take a decision and say, well, if we do this, this, and this, we can change. Or if we look towards the original design of the product, we can actually carry things back from the services we conduct on the final product to the core drawings and then improve the design for future generation of the product. That integration you get, that is something that really gives you a competitive edge as well.
I mean, Rick, does that resonate with you? I mean, how have things changed with Van Dorp since your partnership with 9altitudes?
Well, we are in the middle of our digital transformation, and digital transformation is quite hard, but we have been advancing very steadily, and we're working towards a future where AI is really helping us in our daily field operations to make life better for our employees and our customers. We're also building an integrated landscape where we use data from different buildings to optimize the climate building systems and to make it really better. And we're building on a resilient digital backbone for the whole company to be integrated, to work more efficiently and achieve better operational excellence.
But there's lots of decisions to be made if you take that path, and there might be a concern that you get it wrong, or there might be that concern that you just go with the flow with your current software provider, or you get add-ons, you get led down different paths. I mean, were they difficult decisions to be made at some point, or has it been quite a seamless transition the direction you're going in?
No, it has been a very difficult road with a lot of complex decisions. And we are a technical company focused on the client, focused on the assets. So we've been investing heavily in making the right choice, going the right direction. And there's such a great future coming towards us, and we are very optimistic about the tools that we have in the future. But to be able to enable it in the operations of the company has been quite hard. And we have been making great advancements in using data and AI to make better predictions, to make data-driven decisions, and to optimize our systems.
I mean, Niels, looking at the big playing field, thousands and thousands of companies out there, all faced with their own peculiar bespoke decisions that they have to make in terms of this loosely called digitalized transformation. It is difficult, isn't it? It is difficult for decisions for companies to make.
It is. There is nothing that is easy, and nobody ever said it was easy, but I think it's important to look at the timing. What has changed dramatically over the last year is the pace upon which you can make agents and agentic capabilities on top of the core platforms. We work very closely with Microsoft, who have exposed more than 500,000 user scenarios that you can now do with agentic capabilities. It gives us a pace that we've never seen before. It also allows businesses to do things they've never been able to do, both upstream and downstream. But you can only do that if you take that hard decision and move on to something that is AI ready, that has a structure where you have an execution layer that can get exposed and you can do the agentic work. That is a hard decision to take. My bet, and I think many of our customers see the same thing, if they don't do it now, the cost of catching up is going to be too big. So it might be a tough, hard decision, but waiting would probably be even more costlier.
Final thought then, and I'll ask both of you about this, but we have to consider where we're going. If we have a transformation process that we're involved in, where is it leading us and how confident are we about that? I guess what I'm asking is, what opportunities do you see down the line for innovation and growth, sustainable growth within companies? Rick?
Well, we see many opportunities for innovation, in especially guiding our customers towards a more sustainable future with investing in better assets that are more sustainable. Also using the data and the partnership to make the sustainability visible for the customers and both ourselves to prove what we are doing in that field. Also, we see many challenges in the Netherlands for the energy systems that we're using, where there are many technological challenges regarding the usage of the energy grid and how we can optimize that, working together, intertwined with the data, the different energy systems and the assets, maintaining availability. Lastly, we see many opportunities for AI in our daily field operations to make the lives of our employees on the ground better every day.
Niels, your crystal ball?
I think the theme of Davos this year is about having a conversation, having a dialogue. And I think in the dialogue, there is a huge opportunity to get the agentic capabilities built out on the basis of a strong operating core. That backbone that basically is the execution layers, and we'll call that from a technology perspective, getting that right, then begin building the agentic capabilities is by far the biggest opportunity I see in the market. because suddenly we are no longer dependent on super highly configured individual solutions, but we are dependent on an operating layer that works, and then we can begin getting the benefit and we can begin scaling. The data has to be accurate. The models we work with have to be controlled. We can do it responsibly, but then we can begin scaling something that works as opposed to scale something that's inconsistent. That is our biggest opportunity, because that can help companies like Dorp to really also get to the next level from a profitability perspective, resilience perspective, and sustainability perspective. And when we have that dialogue as two companies, I think we are coming a very long way and taking the best out of the technology and making it the best for the world.
Niels and Rick, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Thank you.
One thing's for sure, transformation is no longer a choice, it's a next step, but focused transformation, targeting productivity, resilience, and sustainability. Companies like 9altitudes and Dorp are in the future business, ready to connect strategy with real-world execution.